power wash it, get it. Throw it on the bike real quick and then get on to the rest of the parts in today's build series video. So we're finally moving on to the next part. I just watched a few clips back and I sound totally ridiculous, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's a bunch of comments about how my voice sounds. But we are finally getting this all taken off. I'm gonna start off with a brake, I believe, and then work on to the skid plate section under there. But things might change. As you can see, I did a really good job cleaning the bike. But yeah, so we're gonna rip off this the brake here. This should be probably the easiest part, or one of the easiest parts in 3 parts I'm putting on today. Alright, so I got the foot pegs and stuff all taken off, the whole foot peg mount. Foot pegs come along with it. Brake taken off, and now we can just take out these small little bolts right there to take off the skid plate itself. Here's my little job on trying to patch that leak on the side glass cover, but didn't really work that well. Well, there goes the skid plate. I probably should power wash that, but I'm not going to. The nice thing about this JTI stuff is it came with all new hardware, all new springs for the foot pegs. Came with pretty much everything you need, so that's a nice plus. Full instructions on if you don't know how to put it on, or things to look out for, things that they recommend. So it's nice to always have instructions if you don't know what you're doing. You really can't go wrong with a good company that provides instructions with their product, unlike other companies out there that will just send the stuff and then you gotta figure out how to do it. Grooves right here, it kind of like sucks it up into these pieces on the frame there. And yeah, overall it seems like it's gonna go on pretty easy. I didn't show this yet. It's got this back bracket right here. I might have shown it, but it kind of hooks onto the back of the frame here and then you bolt it in, and it already has the bolts in there. And it makes it so you don't, when you're stepping on it, doesn't pull this hole out and then pull out the threads on your motor and then you're screwed. Guys, so there is the skid plate fully on right there. It looks pretty nice. We're gonna get the foot peg attached right here, and then we're gonna get the brake pedal put on and get the other foot peg put on when I get the other screw on the other side of the skid plate. But as far as this foot peg goes, like I was saying before, I believe I'm gonna take it out and move it up 1 foot. Is pretty big, and with the stock setting right here for me, so I'm gonna make it a little bit longer. And it's all set up right there, good to go. And all we gotta do is slide this on. And actually I gotta get the spring on there first and then we can slide it on. All right, I skipped the process of the spring, but we're good to go on that. So I figured out the spring on the foot peg, and then we're just gonna put it into place. If I can line this up here, we will put the foot peg in, but you know, we always have difficulties, so this is what's gonna happen. We'll come back to you after I get these on because this is too hard to do on camera, but I will get them in. Like I've said in previous builds, I'm an amateur mechanic, so don't judge me on my skills here. Don't judge me on the gloves I wear so I can touch the camera. And yeah, I'll come back to you when I get these on. So I got the first foot peg on. It is all good to go if the camera would focus. All good to go. That string was a pain, and it was a pain to get it all lined up to get the pin through. But we are good to go. We're gonna move on to the other side. So another big plus to this stand, as you can see without the brake right there, I can get it perfectly flat on the stand here. I don't have to worry about the brake hitting and it being like unlevel and kind of wobbly on the stand. So this, I can just throw it on the stand and it's good to go now. So here's kind of the first look on the brake. And the whole setup here, my camera focuses. I gotta manually focus it with this lens. Cleans the bike up, makes it look a lot better. Break from the foot peg here. I'm gonna take this cover off, get this cover replaced, and then crack on with the foot peg, and then a few other little parts to throw on, like a chain guide part of the build today. So here's this sweet cover on there. It definitely adds to the bike, and just, it's totally custom, and nobody else can have this on their pit bike, so I'm definitely hyped on that side cover there. Pulls it all together. I did forget that one bolt. I gotta throw that in there for the skid plate. The last step to this, get this last foot peg on, and yeah, it's gonna be a struggle. Alright, so I got the foot peg all mounted, good to go. It took me a while to get that all figured out. Not figured out, it's just a pain to get in because this angle. I never ended up taking the shifter off, but I got it all finagled in there. Got it good to go, all tightened down. These things are snappy, it's awesome. I'm gonna take it out in the light a little bit, show you guys a little bit better on the parts for today. Okay, so taking a closer look at it, it really brings the bike together. I feel like it's just one thing that's not stock and one more thing that's not stock in the bike, and it really brings it together just looking at the. I don't have to worry about my foot pegs pulling out when I'm jumping this thing. Not that I jump it a lot, but when I'm going to, when I do, don't really have to worry about it. On top of the Traction MX seat cover, really bringing the whole bike together, really tying all the colors together, getting rid of that ugly Suzuki seat cover, and making it all kind of flow together now. The last thing I have here is this this eBay special chain guide. Just pop that on right there, and we should be golden. So find some screws for that. I don't really know if I have any that are gonna match up to those threads, but I'm gonna look through my toolbox, try to find some, throw this on there. All right, so I got my little bin of parts here. I'm gonna pop off the chain, and then we should be able to line this up. The easiest way is to get it on the sprocket and then pop off this clip here. Get this all taken off, and then slide. Look at how much slack there is on this chain. It just slides back and forth. It definitely is not the right size for this sprocket, but hey, it works for now until I get a new one. If I can get this master link out. Come on. There we go. This might not fit. Well, I can only get one of these to screw in because the other one doesn't line up properly, so for right now we're just gonna run the one bolt until I kind of Dremel out this plastic piece so I can line this other one up so I could slide it back a little bit more. But looking at it, wait a minute. Am I stupid? I think I'm stupid. If you guys want to check out any of the parts in this build from JTI Productions, links down below along with Traction MX seat covers. Both their links are right down below. Shout out to them for the parts for this build. Put your comments down below what you think about the build so far and what I should change, what I should do, if you like it, if you don't. And yeah, I want to hear your opinions on it. So this doesn't fit. I'm gonna have to Dremel out this little plastic piece because I don't know if this was meant for this, or when I bought this custom swing arm, whenever they re-welded this mount on there, they did something wrong. I don't really know. So this is either junk. I'm gonna have to Dremel out a little piece here to slide it back. Regardless, I can get one screw in there, but it doesn't line up on the chain. It's too far over and it's always gonna push the chain off. So I'm gonna do that another time, but I think I'm gonna wrap the video up here. I don't really have much else to do on this thing other than the plastics, and I think that's about it. I have new bearings for the rear wheel, so I'll probably include that in this next video on the build. I want to put a new sprocket on there because the sprocket's kind of worn down. But yeah, that'll be another build series video, probably the final build series video once I get the new plastics in. And other than that, there's really nothing else to do on the build. So it's pretty much going to wrap this video up. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on new dirt bike builds coming up, all the moto vlogs, stuff like that. Like the video, share with your friends, and off of that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Basically just a corner track.